Perfect. We are learning that a regional jet has gone. What's being described as a hostile takeover. Been destroyed in the attack you're seeing. That they have reached a deal to pause the way. Breaking news that the launch is.
I hope you enjoyed that mini movie and invitation to Repower Hour on Fridays on my Instagram Live. Welcome to the February energy reading. My name is Melanie Santos. I'm a multidisciplinary sacred artist who focuses on really tapping into the healer within ourselves, the power within ourselves to maximize our human experience here on earth. And one of the ways that I do that is by offering these energy readings for free every single month. Thank you for joining. If this is your second, third, fourth time here, thank you. Thank you for joining again. The last energy reading that we did, which was January, which was the longest one that I've ever done, and just so packed with information. I was kind of scared when I released it because I'm like, I don't know if people are going to watch this. This is so long. But honestly, it came from a place of passion, and I really wanted y'all to have that information so that you know what this year is all about, so that you are fully informed on how you can make the most of the energy of not only January, but of the energy of 2025. This reading is going to be for February 2025. I know that we're already a week in. Thank you for your patience. My daughter had the flu, and my full attention was on caring for her. I think it's trying to get me too. It's really trying, but my aura is strong as hell, and it cannot get me. But I'm still being cautious. So I'm recording this as soon as I possibly can so I can get it out to y'all. So just if it gets to me, then I know that this is already out in the world. Let's start off by going through what I think are the most important cosmic movements of this month and the themes and to-dos that we should really be cognizant of so we can make the most of this month. The first being that on February 4th, we experience a shift from Venus into Aries. Venus is this planet of love and beauty, abundance, connection, relationships, stepping into the fiery initiation plan sign of Aries. This really tells us that from now until March 27th, with a little retrograde in between, this is a time for us to really focus on initiating love, initiating and starting and doing based on and rooted in love. The love that we are, the love that we want to give, the love that we want to receive, asking and stating the love that we want to receive in all its different forms, acting on the way that we want to see and create love and beauty in the world. This is really, really important, especially on a collective level, because there's so much chaos going on, real chaos and also manufactured chaos, which I'm going to talk a lot about in this video, I suppose. And based on that, we all want to be free of it, right? We all want collective liberation, but we can't do that if we don't focus on who we are as liberated beings innately, right? We came into this world free. We are free souls. And so this is a time to really focus on, what do I need to do? This is a masculine energy. What do I need to do to exist as love so that I create and can see more love and beauty in the world? Now, in the same realms of love and heart-centered energy, on February 12th, we're experiencing a full moon in Leo. Shout out to all the Leo placements out there, because this is a really really big time. As we know already, and if you don't know, I'm going to route you to my masterclass on the sun, the moon, full moon, new moon, all of explaining the cosmos, their biggest shifts and how we can work with them. We already know where the link is, but full moons are ripe for releasing energy. I have videos on here for the past, I think, 8 or 9 years, explaining all of that and explaining different rituals and things that we can do to release energy. But it's best if we focus on the sign that the full moon is in. And so we're experiencing this full moon in the sign of Leo, which just means that the energy is going to be targeted on what Leo is about. And Leo is this sun-ruled sign of the self. Leo is the individual. It's brave, it's courageous. It's like, Leo is the star, right? It's passionate. It's just this delicious, like, forward, heart-centered energy. Leo also rules the heart, the spine. With this full moon in Leo opposing the sun in Aquarius, Aquarius being this energy of collective revolution, this is an energy that is guiding us to release self-doubt, release any internal barriers, stories, and notions that keep us from showing up fully and authentically in the world, from showing up fully and authentically in a world that needs our truth and needs our personal liberated expression. This is about releasing self-doubt so that we can take up space in the specific arenas in our life that are asking for us to do that, so that we can then show up in the world. As many years as we've been going through collective chaos, I think there's still confusion about how we need to show up and how we should show up in the world. And I just created this really beautiful carousel about our roles. Please go check that out on Instagram. I'm going to tag it in the description box below. But I really want to continue the conversation on liberation. The truth is that we cannot create sustainable collective liberation if we do not have personal liberation first. Please know that in a world that manufactures chaos by the second, it is a revolutionary act not to doubt yourself. It is a revolutionary act to deeply love yourself despite all the fingers being pointed at you, even if you've been conditioned to point some of those fingers at yourself. From one sacred artist to another, because I believe that we are all sacred artists of life, please share your gifts. This is a time to open up your heart. A full moon in Leo is a time to release anything that is keeping you and reflect on anything that is keeping you from sharing your gifts, from sharing your light, from sharing your voice with the world. Your opinion matters. You matter. And know that the world needs it and needs you more than ever before. If you've been watching these for a while, you may know that before I sit down in front of the camera and start putting these cards and start sharing about the cosmic insights, I sit with my personal spirit guides and just try to get some spirit insights, some spirit guidance about what we should be focusing on besides the guidance that we get here. And I was really surprised when my 2 spirit guides that I communicate with daily said that, reiterated this notion of like sharing our light and sharing our voice, but especially on social media. And they showed me a clear vision about what I'm going to say. They said that we should really be intentional because we are all on social media. We know what happened with TikTok. We know what's happening with Instagram. We know what Meta is doing, how it got all its little dirty little fingers in all of our social media pots. So we have to be really, really intentional. There's no way that we can break these systems because most of us need it, myself included. So we got to know how to work them. So using our voice in all ways has to include social media. And what they showed me was we often see, or at least I often see, I go to my Instagram account and what I see is people commenting, comment the word fluff to get the link for this thing that I'm showing you in this video. Or like somebody showing a really cool outfit or somebody making some funny noises or like sharing some jokes or a funny little video and everybody ha 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 commenting in the comments. But then I scroll past and I see somebody creating work that is truly revolutionary and sharing their love and sharing their light and sharing their necessary opinion, their necessary perspective. And there are barely any comments and there are barely any shares, unless it's somebody that has a gajillion followers. And what my spirit guide said was that amplifying, using our voice and using our presence to amplify the voices that align with the world that we want to see is also very important. be very intentional with the ways that you show up everywhere. The world is social media too, especially in this Aquarian age. So if you see something or someone clearly creating art or creating something, it's not all content. A lot of it is art. Creating something that really aligns with your vision and your truth, your vision of the world that you want to see. Please comment, share, like it, engage with it as most as you can so that content gets pushed by the algorithms. We cannot break the systems, so we got to trick them. Next, February 14th, Valentine's Day, right? Not really fond of the commercialness of it all. Never have been. Never, ever, ever have been. Word to the blog post that I used to write years and years and years ago back on Tumblr about how much I hated Valentine's Day. But what I think is most important is that on February 14th, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, moving into Pisces until March 3rd. Now, again, Mercury is communication and Pisces is the intuitive, dreamy, just delicious sign of daydreams, intuition, wisdom, dreams, period. And so this is shifting our focus from logic into emotion, into imagination, into dreaming. And so this is not a time to have both of your feet planted and solely planted in the human world. I know that sounds counterintuitive as I'm talking about liberation and personal liberation and all these things. If you must have both feet planted in the human world, make some time to stick your head in the clouds. Okay, make some time to daydream, make some time to dream, make some time to journal, prioritize your sleep. Engage in creative writing. I said journaling already. Strengthening your intuition. Meditating is this a really, really good time to meditate because communication is not only about verbal communication, but your essence, how your aura communicates for you even before. And even if you don't open your mouth, prioritizing aura work. Learning more about what your aura is, what is your electromagnetic field, what can it do for you, how can you strengthen it through nutrition and movement and all these things. And I'm going to have so much more on this channel about this soon. But Mercury in Pisces is a really, really, really great time to practice communication of this kind that focuses on emotion, imagination, dreaming, and focuses on communicating in all ways about the world that we want to see. And again, how we engage communication that's already doing that out in the world. Then February 18th, Pisces, stand up because it is your season. We have the sun shifting into Pisces, ushering in Pisces season. We've been in Aquarius season, which again, Aquarius is this revolutionary, the water bearer, right? That wants to work in community, wants to serve the people. Now that we've been in Aquarius season and we know, we are clear on what we want as a collective, I think it's pretty clear what we want. We may not know the specifics, but we know what we want as a people. Now we're shifting into Pisces season where it's time to really sit down and use our intuition, use our intuitive resources, use our energetic resources, use our spirits to start building towards this new world. Start building towards the things that we want to see, both in our personal lives and also in the collective. Pisces season is a time where we're going to be super supported in diving into ourselves and prioritizing our spirituality and prioritizing these stabilizing routines. I'm not going to say nervous system regulation because there's just disgusting obsession with that. And how can we truly be regulated in a time where, again, chaos is being manufactured by the second? What we can do is make ourselves stronger so that we can be sustained amidst the collective constant chaos. And so again, prioritizing sleep, paying attention to our dreams, prioritizing the habits and routines that make us feel what Pisces, what I think Pisces feels like, dreamlike, in a world that kind of feels like hell right now, is going to be really, really important. Now, Pisces is also important because it's the final zodiac sign before we enter Aries season and the spring equinox. So when I tell you this is an important time, because new moons are ripe for manifesting and setting intentions for the world and the energy that we want to see within ourselves and the collective, this is such an important time to set our intentions for the year. January wasn't for that. And I will die on that hill. January is for wintering. It's not a season to okay, let's go. No, I think March is for that. March is when we really get that energetic push and we're super supported with Aries energy, right? This energy of initiation, this fire energy of going. January, we're still in this air sign of Aquarius where we're like kind of taking note of, okay, what's going on in the world? Oh yeah, all right. What happened last year? Okay, yeah, let me take note of that, because once I get to Pisces season, I'm going to start to like break down and dream of, based on what I just went through in the last 12 months, this is what I want to experience for the rest of the year. And this is your time to do that. Once we hit Pisces season, you have a month to really, really look at the inventory that you've been taking. Look at the questions that you hopefully have been asking yourself about 2024. Really take into account the lessons that you've learned. Really take into account all of the arenas of your life. What feels full? What feels drained? What do you want to see in your life? What is going to make you feel more power? What is it that's keeping you from existing in the world authentically and expressing yourself fully and authentically? And what do you want to do to change that? Because Pisces season and this new moon in Pisces on February 27th is the time to do that. With that, if you have not purchased and completed a Visions Unbound Workbook, which is my just spectacularly created intention workbook that I started creating years ago and has been refined into this beautiful creation, this is the time to do it. Okay, Pisces season again starts on February 18th. That is a perfect time to start locking into a Visions Unbound workbook. I have both a digital version and a paperback version that is printed on Amazon. I know Amazon is not our favorite place on earth right now, but in order to cut back on waste, it is printed as you purchase it. I don't have stock just like laying around my house. I also don't have the resources to send out paper workbooks like that. So it is up to you how you purchase it. If you purchase a digital copy, which is still on sale right now, you can use it for years and years and years to come. I'm obviously biased because I created it, but I think that having done so many different intention rituals and so many workbooks and tools and workshops and all the things for so many years, I've created a beautifully simple guided journey on setting really, really powerful intentions. You have meditations in there. You have exercises, not just for your personal liberation, but also focusing on collective liberation. We have money rituals in there. We have a letter to yourself. That's just the most powerful thing on planet Earth. It's just a really beautiful thing. And I have testimonials up the wazoo that I can share with you, but I want you to experience it for yourself. And really lock into this workbook, because by the time we experience the spring equinox on March 20th and the Aries season, start of Aries season on March 29th, that last week of March, that really brings us into the energetic new year, into this fire season, those intentions will be fired up and sent into the cosmos to really lock in and start to manifest for us. Those opportunities will start to pop up for us so that our intentions will come into fruition. It gets me so fired up when I think about the fact that we live on this planet amongst all these other planets that are offering us these energies to work with, and how they string together into this perfect story month by month, giving us different opportunities and different seasons to work with so that we don't have to live in chaos. We really, really don't. We really, really don't. And it's truly a shame that the people in power try to tell us that we don't have power, which is one of the reasons why I created the Repower Hour, which is going to be happening on Fridays on my Instagram channel. So I hope you can make it. And if you can't, the recordings are going to be on my channel. But it's really unfortunate that the people in power don't have this perspective. What I dream of is a day where we have a president or somebody at the helm that understands the power of the cosmos and just understands that there is more than just human life. I'm going to get off my soapbox now so we can start this reading, because I'm really hungry suddenly. I'm going to light this candle that my cousin Nina got me. Thank you, Nina. This is a dreamer candle. I don't know where she got it from, but thank you. I think it really aligns with the energy of this reading today. And it has this beautiful rose scent. But let's kick it off. Let's start the reading. We're going to start off with the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. As always, all the decks that I use are going to be linked in the description box below for you to purchase for your own practice. Ha! Okay, we had a card that flipped over in the deck. We're starting off with the goddess Ishtar, boundaries. The goddess Ishtar, boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. What's coming up for me instantly, as I'm segueing from talking about the powers that be, is that we have to put boundaries on the outside world so that we can focus on personal liberation as it creates these beautiful riverbanks into collective liberation. Love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. That means how much you scroll and how you're scrolling, when you read the news and watch the news, and how you do that. Okay, what are you doing as soon as you wake up? Thinking of the mini movie that I showed you at the start of this video. Manufactured chaos is very real. And if you don't know what that means, that just means that the people in power, media outlets, the people who have control over the things that we see, do, buy on a daily basis, are all grounded in one chaotic narrative that aims to strip us of our clear perspective as divine beings and aims to strip us of our inner knowing that we are truly powerful. Why? So that they can control us, so that we can make them more money, so that we can be sick and tired. The more that we give in into these stories and narratives of manufactured chaos, the sicker we become, the more disempowered we become, the more powerless we become. And what happens when we become sick, tired, and disempowered, we have to reach out to gain our health from outside sources, the healthcare system, which is going to cost $1 bajillion every single time, right? What's going to make us feel powerful or more powerful? Investing in media, watching media, constantly watching the news, constantly watching the news, constantly reading the news, constantly investing in these media outlets to come to a moment of truth when it's not the truth at all. And when we're tired, we don't have clarity of mind. We start to lose our sanity. And so be very cognizant of creating these boundaries for yourself. I don't know if y'all can hear my stomach rumbling, but I'm hungry. I really am hungry. Creating these boundaries for yourself. Create boundaries so that you can stay informed in sustainable ways. I'm not telling you to not be informed. We have to be, because we have to know the monsters that we're fighting. We can't just hide on the bed when the monsters are under the bed, right? We have to know. We have to know. But you can do that in sustainable ways. So making sure that you are nourished mentally, physically, and spiritually before you pick up the phone in the morning and start to scroll. Before you even start to read text messages, because I don't know about you, but I have people in my life who are also amazing citizens of the world and want to be informed too. I have people in my life who are a little bit too informed and don't know how to keep their own boundaries and don't know how to respect my boundaries. And so sometimes when I pick up the phone to read my text messages, it's like articles and like videos. Did you see this? Did you see this? Oh my God. Da, 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 da. We can't exist like that. We cannot exist like that. And so be strict about your boundaries. Be also strict about the boundaries that you have with yourself about this, right? It's not only setting boundaries against other people, but setting boundaries for yourself. I'm going to be strict with myself about these practices, about these devotional practices. What do I want to be devoted to? A devotional practice is something that you do every single day. And to me, it's sadhana, right? It's a daily spiritual practice. What is your spiritual practice right now? Is it picking up your phone and going on Instagram and going on TikTok and seeing what's going on? That can't be a part of your daily sadhana. What is your sadhana? It's what you do every single day once you wake up. What is part of your sadhana? Is it waking up? Is it brushing your teeth? Is it washing your face? Is it taking a shower? Is it nourishing your body? Is it prayer? Is it meditation? Or is it immediately turning over to your night table, grabbing the phone and picking it up? I know that for some people it's necessary because of work and kids and whatever it is that's going on, and I understand that. You have to create sustainable boundaries. As I say, barriers. They're not so much barriers, but they're boundaries. Fences, not walls. Create fences, not walls, that work for you. If you must pick up your phone as soon as you wake up, Do it and then make sure to put it down. And then put it on a do not disturb so you can get in your daily devotional practice. And what that means for you is what that means for you. I don't care what you're doing, if it's yoga, if it's meditation, if you're reading the Bible, if you go to church every single day. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What makes you feel filled and full so that you're not looking or outsourcing that fullness from other sources that, quite frankly, are not the truth. Boundaries. Starting off this reading strong, we're moving on to the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And let's see what the next message of guidance is for February 2025. All right, we had a card jump out of the deck, and of course it's the transformation card. Transformation. This is just like, transformation starts now. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Transformation starts now. Not just in Aries season when the fire comes to like initiate, it starts now. Transformation starts when we get sick of our shit. And then we build the boundaries that are necessary. Transformation starts, it's the pre-practice, it's the pre-work that matters the most. Because once things start really moving, if you haven't done what you need to do and built the boundaries and really reflected on what you want to change, then transformation is not going to be sustainable. Transformation starts now. It's been here. But we've got to lock it in. We've got to lock in. In what ways are you being guided to transform? I think there's a hyperfixation on releasing. I have a buddy here that I'm going to reveal at some point in the video, a new member of the family. So just wait. I just wanted to say that because he's making noise right now. There's this hyperfixation on releasing. And I get it. I used to be that person too. Like, we got to release in order to call in. And like, sure. But a lot of it is about alchemizing, transforming. This has also been showing up in my alignment sessions a lot. And I do have alignment sessions available for February. I have a couple sessions available for February. And my March calendar is fully open. So please book a session with me if you want to really lock in on what does personal liberation mean for me in this season and in my life, right? So there for that in these readings. This has been coming up in my readings a lot where people come in and they ask me, well, how can I be release the negative energy in my life? Like, how can I be aligned with only the light and only the good? And I'm going to share with you some game on what I often tell people. And this shifts depending on the person and what their energetic signature is and what their essence is and whatever. But generally, my perspective on negative energies is that they show up to be transformed, not to be ignored, not to be pulled away from. Because when we pull away from something that is really triggering and bothering us, it's just going to turn right back around and show up somewhere else. Negative energy, or what we've been conditioned to believe is negative energy, and some of it is truly negative, but it's meant to trigger us so that we can transform in the ways that doesn't allow negative energy to be sustainable in the world at all. Okay, and so we have to face what feels negative, what feels triggering, in order to alchemize our relationship to it. When we even say that something is negative, we're giving it power. We're giving it power. When we name something and give it an energetic connotation, we're giving it power, because the truth is that all energy is neutral. All energy is neutral. And so try to get into the practice this month of staying away from this is negative and this is good and this is bad. It's neutral. How do I want to react to it? And how is it affecting me? Pull in your practices, dig into your Barney bag. Yes, I am from the 90s. Dig into your Barney bag and your Mary Poppins bag of practices that make you feel sustainable and regulated so that you can have a true conversation with what is showing up as negative in your life so that the transformation can happen. Because almost every single time, transformation happens from a point of depletion, from a point of negativity, right? I'm a firm believer that we have to get sick of our shit in order to change the shit so that it can flourish. So transformation, lots of bullshit is going to pop up this month. Lots of bullshit is going to pop up this month. Lots of bullshit. I think especially with the cosmic movements that we have going on, full moon in Leo, it's a lot of people that are just going to be like, rawr. Venus in Aries, just like initiation energy, that can be really great, but it can also go really sour. Okay? Pisces season can be beautiful and dreamy, but it can also make people delusional. Including you. This doesn't exclude you. So you want to be careful of this as well. So transformation, being cognizant of the ways that this energy shows up in your life this month is going to be really, really important. This candle is so delicious. Thank you, Nina. I love you. Okay, we're moving on to 2 decks that I have not used in a reading in a very long time. The next one is the Spirit Messages deck by John Holland. Really love this deck. Very spiritual deck. So let's see what pops up as our 3rd piece of guidance for February 2025. All right, we had a card fly so gracefully out of the deck. It really did fly so gracefully out of the deck. And it's coming up upside down, which is really, really, really just putting emphasis on this message. And it's the message of gratitude. I actually really love that because these 2 cards that came out before this just give very intense energy. And so this being a spirit guidance, spirit message deck, spirit message card is just reminding us that we have to be fueled by gratitude and love. Again, this is love month, not just in a commercial way, but really in an energetic way. It's really dark outside right now. Bless you. You hear him? We cannot be, okay, let me get cozy. We cannot run on anger. We cannot run on angst. We cannot run on frustration. And I know that those feelings are really, really, really... All right, pause real quick. Part of what I wanted to say in this reading is find the things that make you grateful to be alive, that bring you so much joy. And I want to introduce you, because he's beasting to be in the camera, to what has been doing that for me. Say hello to Yoshi. Yoshi is the thing. He's not a thing. He's a beautiful 12-week-old Bernedoodle, a little baby. But he is what's been keeping me grateful and keeping me joyful and keeping me moving my body and keeping me engaged. But he's been keeping me grateful to be alive and keeping me open to the perspective that there's just so much more than the chaos that is out there. That there's really so much love to be felt and joy to be experienced. And so he's been that thing for me, and I adore him, and I really feel like he completes our family. I'm going to share much more about him on my Instagram channel, but y'all are seeing him first. But find that thing for you. What is that thing for you that keeps you grateful? Because we cannot. Let me get back to that message, because that was a good one. Again, we cannot run on frustration, on fury, on anger. We were not built as heart-centered beings. Literally, if we think about the energies within us, the 7 chakras, the 7 main chakras within us, the middle chakra is the heart. We have an electromagnetic field, and the heart has its own. There's sirens here. Long, loud sirens to emphasize this message. But just to emphasize how much of heart-centered beings we are, our hearts have their own aura. This just massive energy that bridges together the upper 3, which keeps us connected to the divine and to the divinity within us, and the lower 3 that keeps us rooted in humanity. We are not built physically, mentally, okay, our circulatory system, our nervous system, our electromagnetic system, it was not built for us to constantly take in stimuli based on collective chaos every single day at every moment. And so honor the fact that you're doing your best and try to shift your perspective from just centering, oh my God, there's so much going on, we have so much to do. Yes, that is always going to be the truth. That is always going to be the truth. But try to shift your perspective on like, okay, this is true. And also, I'm also so grateful to be alive at this time. I'm also so grateful that I was put here, because even if I don't know my purpose yet, I know that I must be here to do something great. I know that my contribution, my mental, physical, spiritual, energetic contribution in the world must be so important. That's why I incarnated during this time. I'm so grateful that there's so much love and so much joy to experience in the world. And so because these true truths exist, I can hold a nuanced perspective so that I can hold both at the same time. I can make time for each. It's the only way, by creating these boundaries, that transformation is going to be sustainable. By creating these boundaries that can allow natural chaos and divinity to exist at the same time, that's the only way that transformation is going to be sustainable. I want you to also think about how this is existing, how these energies are existing in your personal life. How is this existing in your personal life? What kinds of boundaries should you have been setting? Or should you be, or have you been reflecting on setting since 2025 started? So that the transformations that you've been aching for, some of y'all are aching for transformation, but you're not setting the boundaries necessary in order to make it happen. You do a little bit here and there and whatever, and then you just lose it. And then you're like, oh, I kind of wish I felt this way. But the actions necessary to get there are not being taken. Okay, so be grateful for what you've learned in your mistakes and move forward. Think about how this is showing up for you personally. This definitely shows up for me. You're not alone. I'm on this journey too with you. I am not perfect. I am so grateful that I can do what I do, that I can have this beautiful, like one of my favorite things about me, and it's about to make me emotional as I love myself on camera. I'm having this full moon and Leo moment. But one of my favorite things about me, Yoshi, who's barking right now, yeah, is that I have this perspective of the world. Yes. Maybe Yoshi will be our new, like, he's barking, this must be important. But one of my favorite things about myself is that I have this perspective of the world and that I can view the world in a very nuanced way. And still, I go through this shit too. Okay, so pay attention to how this is going on in your life personally, because we all see how it's happening for us collectively. If you heal these disconnections personally, or work on, because we're never going to be fully healed, but if we work on being really intentional about these personal disconnections, healing the collective disconnections gets a lot easier. We become more empowered. We are more rested. We are more clear. We can show up for the purpose that we are here to align with in the world. We can show up authentically in the world for each other. We can create real community, showing up for each other in real ways. With that, let's jump into our last card. Our final card is coming from the Moon deck. Okay, it's beautiful, beautiful deck. And yeah, let's pull our last card. Last message for, I got all this hair. Last message for February 2025. The card that came up is, it is safe and beautiful to express my sensuality. And Yoshi is making some sounds in the background. It is safe and beautiful to express my sensuality. Now, I can already feel that this card is going to be a little bit triggering to some of you, because a lot of people don't have a positive relationship with even just the word sensuality. Let's break down sensuality real quick. When I think of sensuality as an educator, right, I think about education first. I think about where it shows up in our energetic systems. That's the sacral chakra, right around the region of our reproductive system. And this doesn't only represent sensuality, but also emotion, also creativity. And so this card, yes, while it states it is safe and beautiful to express my sensuality, know that creativity, that emotion is rawly sensual. I know that's going to be hard to kind of like make the connection for some of you, but maybe this is the month where you try to make those connections with yourself. What does that mean to you? When you think about sensuality, creativity, which is this, just creativity is innately just the sexual, primal, sensual thing. Not just creating, painting, photography, like art, but life is art. Creativity in life as art is purely and like innately, rawly, like from its rawest point, is sensual. Sensuality, when we think about sensuality, it's comfort in our body, in the way that we move, in the way that we express our primal being, our primal knowing, our primal wants, our gotta haves. I think that's really, really sensual. And so this month, I think it's giving us the opportunity. Look, there's a little full moon, if you see it right on the corner right here. A little full moon, which is beautiful because we talked about this full moon in Leo being this time of the self, right? Really amplifying and trying to reflect on, what is it that keeps me from this? What is it that keeps me from feeling safe and beautiful to express myself fully and authentically in a world that needs it? What is it that keeps me from believing that I have gifts and talents? Do you know that there are people out there that believe, that fully, truly, wholeheartedly believe that they are not talented in any way? And I think it's because we've been conditioned to believe that talents and gifts show up in a very masculine way of like, what can you do? Not everybody's here to do something. They're here to be. And I try to remind people of that in every single alignment session. Here's your purpose, like what you're meant to heal in the world, but like you are truly gifted in this arena. And for some people, yes, it is. Like I have gifted people who are like really gifted in speaking, really gifted in like craftsmanship and making things with their hands. And I've had other clients, beautiful clients, that are here to just exist in joy. And that's their gift and that's their talent, and that's okay. And so this is really a month to reflect on, what is it that keeps you from feeling safe to express yourself in your full creativity, your full emotion, your full sensuality, centering the sacral chakra. If you look at the formation of the woman's hands here, she's kind of making the symbol of the womb. Okay, and just because if you're watching this and you're a male, we all have an energetic womb. Every single one of us have an energetic womb. If you're a woman and you're watching this and your reproductive parts have been removed, you still have an energetic womb. And with that womb, we create energy. What is it that makes you feel unsafe to show up in the world authentically and create energy in the way that you feel called to? What is it that keeps you from wanting to create energy? Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it fear? And what are the roots of those things? Where do they stem from? This is the month to get down and dirty, down to business about what is really keeping us so that we can go forward. Our next reading is March. Our next reading is going to be for the energetic new year. Our next reading is going to be about pressing the gas. I've been telling this entire time, this is not the time to press the gas. This is time to chill. This is time to reflect. This is time to just pause. If we're going to act, this is the way that we have to act. Be really, really intentional. March comes, baby. Even you're going to see me bloom, which is my word for 2025. Bloom. Bloom and blossom. You're going to see me bloom because I really am one with the seasons. I really am one with the seasons. I've always been that way. But March is going to really be about initiation and taking action. This is the time to really get down and gritty, nitty gritty about what you've been called to reflect on, okay? The boundaries that you need to set for your own personal well-being and for the well-being of the collective, okay? So that both your transformation and the transformation of the world are sustainable. Knowing that it's only going to be sustainable if we are fueled by the right energy. Gratitude, love, compassion, okay? Gratitude, love, compassion, so that we can show up fully and authentically in our gifts, in our creativity, in our sensuality. This is also a card calling on our self-love. Not just the ways that we treat ourselves, but how we physically, emotionally, sexually love ourselves. Self-love through self-pleasure. What does that mean for you? Beautiful, beautiful month. Beautiful, beautiful, powerful messages. I don't hope that this resonated with you, because I know that this is a collective reading, and it's meant to like really dig in and reach the parts of you that are meant to receive this. But I hope that you can connect the dots about where this message is supposed to land for you personally. Okay, I am confident. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing these readings since 2019. I am confident that every time I do a collective reading, it will resonate with us as a collective, yes, but it will resonate with us on an individual level too. And when it does, we can show up in the ways that the collective needs us to. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable with it, how this reading resonated with you, how it's showing up for you, what kinds of things are you reflecting on, what kinds of clarity came to you. Look, it's bright again. In the month of January, because March's reading is going to be juicy. I can already feel it. It's going to be juicy. Let's make that happen in the best ways, okay? Love you. All the links are in the description box. Visions Unbound Workbook, masterclass on the sun, the moon, equinoxes, all the things. I'll see you at Repower Hour on Fridays. And yeah, I'll see you on this channel too. Peace.